Hi and welcome to Cook with Mel. If you are returning to my channel, welcome back. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. Hit the notification bell so you know when we posted a new delicious low carb recipe. Today we are doing keto chicken and dumplings. And I originally was requested to make and find the lowest carb chicken and dumplings by Jamie and his lovely wife Michelle. Thank you for that, because now I get to have this beautiful meal. So I did my research and I found the lowest carb recipe by Hungry Elephant. Thank you, Hungry Elephant. We get to have low carb chicken and dumplings. So let's get into that recipe now and I'll show you how it's made. My burners to medium, and I have quite a deep medium-sized pot, and we're going to add and melt 1 tablespoon of butter. And next we're going to add 60 grams each, or 1/3 of a cup each, of onion, celery and carrots. Now I know you might have an issue with carrots like I did, but I looked at leaving them out completely, and you know, it's chicken soup and there's virtually nothing else in the soup, and you know, the carb count is the lowest I could find, so like 3.3 grams net carbs and 6 grams total carbs. I reckon this is where the carbs come from, but they're so little, you know, it's only 60 grams, so I am adding it. Once your vegetables have softened, we are going to add a tablespoon of garlic, and I found for, you know, the amount of garlic that you put in, it's only a tablespoon, they're quite high in carbs, and if you want to lower this dish further, just add some garlic powder instead of minced garlic. Here's my tip of the day. And also a tablespoon of parsley. And at this stage, we're going to add a teaspoon of xanthan. Just give that a stir. Smells so good already. Next, we're going to add some chicken stock, and I want to show you what a beautiful low carb chicken stock I found. Less than 1 gram. It's amazing. And if you're in Australia, I got it from Coles. It's just, you know, the budget brand, and I was really pleased to find that. So we are going to be preparing 2.5 cups of chicken stock. Bring this to the boil, and mine started boiling quite quickly, and then turn off the heat. Time to make the dumplings. For that, we are going to add to a bowl 3/4 of a cup of almond flour, 15 grams of whey protein, and I found a really good whey protein. This one is by Feel Good, and I loved the macros on it, and it's got a bit of collagen in there as well, so I decided to use that. I found it online. I've got here 3/4 of a teaspoon of xanthan gum. I know some of you don't like the taste of xanthan gum, but we really do need something to bring the dumplings together. 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and that is going to allow our dumplings to fluff up in the soup. 1 teaspoon of fresh parsley, you can use dried if you want. 1 teaspoon of oregano, 1 tablespoon of thyme. I love thyme, especially in a stew. 1/2 teaspoon each of salt and pepper, and we're going to mix that all in, just so it looks even, you know, kind of even. For our wet ingredients, we've got 1 tablespoon of melted butter and 1 egg. And then we're going to just mix and knead that until it's all fully combined. That's pretty much how I got it. We're just going to leave that for a second and go turn our stove back on, add a couple things, and then we are ready to make some dumpling balls. We are just going to bring our broth back up to a boil, and then we're going to roll some dumpling balls and drop them into our soup. And also the other ingredient you're going to need is 2 cooked chicken breasts. You can buy, cooked chicken from the store and just shred it, or chop it however you want to have dumplings. Okay, this is starting to sizzle now. I'm just going to give this a stir, and then we're going to turn down our pot to a simmer, because you don't want your dumplings to, cook too fast. Okay, I've got my broth to gently simmering, and you can see it's just doing a gentle bubble there. And I've got my dumpling mix here and a bowl of water so that I can wet my hands first, and then I'll take a small portion, just little balls, roll it up. I think I want an oval shape and drop it in. I'm just going to keep going, wetting your hands with maybe every second one. You'll need to close the pot now. I'm just admiring these pretty little things, and let this simmer gently for 15 minutes or until they have doubled in size, and that's our baking powder doing the work. Our 15 minutes are up, and look how beautifully they have swelled. And now I'm going to add the chicken. You get quite a lot for 2 chicken breasts. Give it a stir. I feel like my pot's getting a bit dry, so I'm just going to add about a 1/4 cup of water. And when you stir it, just be careful not to break up your very delicate dumplings. So I'm just working around the dumplings like that. Could actually do with a bit more water, so I'm going to add more water. And when you're making this at home, just eyeball it, and if you want a more opaque stew, you can add a bit of cream in there. At 3.3 net carbs, you can afford, a couple tablespoons of cream. I'm just going to let the chicken simmer and meld into our stew, and I've just put a couple of sprigs of thyme in there, just for extra flavor. And you can also add some pepper if that is what you would like. Give it a taste first and see what you think. And now it's time to have my beautiful dinner, keto chicken dumplings. And this is what it looks like. Okay, this is a meal for 5, and I managed to get 15 dumplings, so that's going to be 3 people each. Just going to dish them. Whoops, we got some time. Don't mind if I do. And I might get some juice as well. Yum. Put on top. So good. I just tasted that, and it tastes like you're on a farm on a very cold winter's day, and you've been out in the snow and you've come in and you have a warm plate of food. It is just delicious. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and get to make this keto dumplings with chicken. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and be well.